let's get down to brass tacks.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
You are now listening to the voice of horror.
Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights. Make sure the kids are safe at home, cause you're headed to the night watch zone. Watch zone.
It's showtime!
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are ready to rock and roll. Kills with me, of course. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? Excited to be finally doing the show.
Yeah, man. For all you guys that are here, we appreciate you guys coming on in. Much appreciated. And thank you for all the well wishes and so forth, guys. Real quick to say hello, blanket hello, but we got Paula, we got Scott. How you guys doing? The general is in the house. What is up, Val? Hope you're doing well. We got the queen. What's up, Sarah? Hope you're doing well. All right. We got Julie in the house. Hey, Julie. Hope you're doing well. And we got a couple other folks. Nathan. Hey, Nathan. Saying hey to everyone. All right. RJ. Good to have you here. Gene in the house. What's up, Gene? Let's see, who else do we have? We got Kay. What's up, Kay? Good to have you here. Val, thank you for reminding people. Hit the like button if you could. It would help us out so very much. And you guys, thank you. Sarah's got the links. You guys are always ready to go. Much appreciated. We can't thank you guys enough. Polar, what is up, Polar? Good to see you. Aimed Punched, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Very, very cool. Kill, obviously it's October. And so, this is a special time of the year. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a Carpenter classic. And I'm not talking about Halloween 78. I'm talking about The Thing from 1982, which, of course, is a remake. Can you believe that? Remake that was able to do something different, stay true to what came before, and really, I mean, it changed the game. It truly did. I mean, the 80s, it was a magical time for so many gifted artists in front of and behind the camera. But the stuff that Rob Bottin was able to do, the practical effects, I mean, holy moly. I mean, Nathan is already putting it down for us. The greatest horror film ever made.
It's damn near perfect.
Yeah,
Knight, I got a question for you, and I've been saving this question for the last few weeks.
Okay.
Of course, you're not going to be able to give me an accurate number, and I couldn't either.
Okay.
But how many times do you think you've watched this movie,
bro?
I mean, I can just say for me, this and like Alien. It's just off the charts of how many times I've just turned it on or it's been on, and anytime I see it's on, I just stop everything I'm doing and I just laugh like I'm seeing a bunch of my old friends, the guys, and it's just a damn near perfect movie. But take a guess. What do you think?
Oh man, I don't even know what the number would be. I mean, I know it's easily over 100, easily over 150. I would say we saw it a lot as kids, growing up. It's always been a movie in my steady rotation. There was a period of time, especially like in my early 20s, when I had a certain job where I would come home in the afternoon and I would just veg out. Sometimes I would just sit on the couch, just veg out. I might be reading something or kind of doodling around the house, and I would put The Thing on. It was one of a handful of movies that I could put on. I didn't necessarily have to watch the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, this is really the nerdy side. You want the real nerdy side? I would sometimes put it on just to have the opening menu play, because you'd have a little bit of that Ennio Morricone score, dun 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 dun, and you'd have the whole, Antarctica, just the whole landscape. Sometimes I would just put that on just to kind of to vibe out, to veg out to it. So that's oh man, I'm showing my colors, but yeah, easily over 150 times.
Yeah,
and that's lowballing it.
Yeah.
That's lowballing it, by the way.
That sounds about like mine.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched it so many times as kids. For you guys in the chat, first of all, if you haven't gotten a chance to hang out with me and Kill these last couple of weeks, these last couple of episodes, we're ranting. Basically, is what we're doing. We're ranting. We're gonna rant with you guys. Let us know your thoughts of this film. And also, and I know, for some folks, just like in 82, this is not their cup of tea. This movie bombed in the box office. E.T.
Inconceivable.
E.T. basically said, "Hold my beer" to all aliens for like 15 years. You know what I mean? So, obviously, this particular alien wasn't eating Reese's Pieces and stuff like that. So, it bombed, but it found life, on home video and VHS, which is, of course, how we got involved with it. And those Saturday afternoon matinees where they would play horror movies or kung fu movies or action movies, you, me, and the cousins watching this.
Have you ever seen it in theaters?
No. And it's funny.
I have.
Get the hell out of here.
They did a
When?
special re-release. Oh wow, this is maybe like 10 years ago. And
Oh,
it was like,
man.
it was, you know, how sometimes the theaters will just say, hey, one night only, re-experience The
Dang,
Thing or Blade Runner or what. Yeah, it was
bro.
really cool to see it on a giant screen.
Can I say something? Like, first of all, and I was gonna talk about that too, saying it's one of those movies, if I ever get a chance to see it in the theater, I'm there. I'd pay $50 easily just to watch this damn thing in a theater on a big screen, easily.
Mhm.
Um, but it's a fantastic movie to have on a big screen. But you know what theaters should do? And I'm surprised that, at least to my knowledge, not many theaters do. I know there's some theaters that kind of do this, and especially during the pandemic did this. They need to go back to some of these classics and like make it a regular thing, like, I don't know, every Thursday night, we're gonna play some classics. And especially, and you could do it by seasons, like around fall time, dip into your horror and maybe your sci-fi horror. And, maybe during the summer, you do your action, movies type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what I'd be doing as a theater.
definitely.
Yeah. But you know what I did see in the theater, which I know you'd probably be like, what? We saw the 45th anniversary of Alien. Did I tell you that? I thought I
Oh
told you that.
no, you did not tell me that.
Bro, Ridley Scott, bro, he can make a movie.
That kid's going places.
He
He's
might
all
have
right.
a career. He might. He
He
might.
might. I think so.
He might. All right, so look, let me let me jump down to the comments. You guys are too funny. Polar says, I was obsessed with Kurt Russell as a kid. First crush. Really? That is cool, man. I
You
mean,
you, you sound like Coriander.
right? So many other folks, man. I mean, growing up as kids, man. I mean, our parents were big fan. Obviously, mom was a fan of Kurt Russell. I mean, look, as a kid, you don't always put two and two together, but you know, let's just be real. Um, Scott saying Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time, but The Thing might be Carpenter's best film. Kill, let's weigh into this because that's a great comment. What do you think?
You know what? I think Scott might have something there, man.
Yeah,
I mean, look, one is a classic sci-fi, one is a classic horror.
yeah,
But there might be something to it. I,
yeah.
you know, I I don't want to answer that, 100% accuracy, but
Well, well,
on any given day,
well. Let
easily one of these is his best. You
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no doubt about. And as much as I love Carpenter, and I love Escape from New
Escape.
York, I love Big
Yes.
Trouble, I love
Mhm.
They Live. I think Christine is underrated. Even things like Assault on Precinct 30, that was a great film. The Fog, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness. I mean, Carpenter had a string like from 70, whenever Assault came out. I think that was 76.
Mhm.
From Assault all the way, I'd say maybe to about the mid 90s, man. He had like a 15, 17-year run.
What, to Ghost of Mars?
See, I didn't
Hey,
want to
hey,
say.
but look, and you know what's so funny? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go on a tangent here. I recently watched Ghost of Mars,
Yeah.
maybe like a few months ago, and it's better than what I remembered. It's
Okay.
still not that great of a film. You
Yeah.
got Ice Cube in there just playing himself. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Natasha Henstridge, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, she's in there. And Jason Statham is in it, and I
Oh
was like,
shit.
oh, this is younger Jason Statham, where he had a low haircut. He wasn't fully bald. This is
Yeah.
this is before the Transporters
Young
kid,
Statham.
young Statham, and I was just like, huh, this is not as bad as I remember. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, 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 no. I love it. I might have to revisit it too, man. Let me put on some mood music here, man. Do you hear that?
I do.
All right, as long as it's not too bad for you.
No.
Scott saying that's how I saw the first two Godfather films on the big screen. One night only,
Oh,
one outstanding experience. You know what? That's awesome. Kill, when was the last time you watched the Godfather films?
and this is gonna sound really bad,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe like 10, 15 years ago when they had that big thing of now it's on DVD or Blu-ray,
Blu-ray. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this, because Coriander and I, we just got into this gangster mood, bro. And we went through all the Godfather films. We went through the Untouchables. We did
Carlito's Way.
We didn't do a Carlito's Way. We still might, because you knew we were gonna do Scarface. Don't start. We already had that battle world. Don't start with me. You know how I feel about it. I love both films. I know. But and we watched The Departed and what else? I think that was about it. We had a
Goodfellas?
Yes, we watched Goodfellas. And now let me just say this. First of all, Godfather 1 and 2, I mean, good God, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel? And I know it's been a long time. How do you feel about Godfather 3?
I mean, it's still good. It's a Godfather film, but you know what? I think of Godfather 3 the same way I think of like Rocky 5. It was just sad. Everything was sad. Like, like the Godfather's old and everyone around him he cared about is gone or they don't want anything to do with them or his world is changing, and I don't know. It was very dour. I'll say it like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but granted, it kind of had to go that way, right? I mean,
you guys didn't know we lured you in with talk on the thing, and it's gangster talk. Gotcha. No, I'm just
got him.
No. Sorry, this is what we do. We love you guys so much. It's like we're just sitting here chatting with friends. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Now listen, Val said not a sci-fi horror fan, but the atmosphere of this movie alone makes it a horror staple must watch. I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
I think that this movie, the tension, the paranoia and the tension is virtually unmatched. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's other movies that do it great too, and if we can have a specific discussion about that, we could. But this movie, the tension, the paranoia, the on the edge of your seat vibes, I mean, it is so high throughout the whole film, all the way to the very end.
And you know what's funny? And fans of these science fiction shows out there, let me know in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. I love bottleneck films. I love bottleneck episodes of shows.
Yeah.
Two of my favorites. For you fans out there, ever watch Supernatural? I forget what season it was, but they were at the sheriff's office. There was a demon that could shapeshift. You didn't know who it was. It was pretty awesome. And then my other one, the X-Files. There was a great bottleneck episode where they were in like an underground lab that was near lava, and there was like this lava creature or something like that. You guys in the chat, I know someone knows the episodes I'm talking about. But it was a great bottleneck episode, and I just anytime that you can have that suspense of there's a killer amongst us.
Yeah.
We don't know who it is.
Right.
And we can't leave.
Yes.
Like, that's just great.
And see, that's the thing, pun intended. That's the thing about this film is that they're in a place where there's nowhere to run.
Yeah. If you go outside and you stay outside too long, you die.
Right. You die. And the thing, again, the other thing about it is it makes total sense because they chose to do this research at these facilities in Antarctica. And thank you again for that, Sarah. And so it's set up in a way where you can totally follow it. You're like, okay, I get it. And so the thing that Carpenter did so well, and he even said of all of his films, this was the longest from, pre-production through the shooting of the film, post and everything to the point when it came out in the theaters. But that it shows in the film because it's so well done. And going back, and that's a great comment that Val had, because I agree the atmosphere is fantastic, but going back to the whole thing about Halloween and the thing, look, everybody knows, Michael's our boy, I mean, listen, I always say this, the Night Watch zone is New Jersey basically, but we also do have a sector of Haddonfield.
Yes, we do.
And I love 78. There's no doubt about it. But even I can admit that The Thing, like from A to Z, okay, I'm just saying from A to Z, overall is the better made film.
You know what? I agree. And as we're sitting here, I'm just thinking of the pacing.
Yes.
In the Thing. The pacing,
Yeah.
it's very rare that I can think of an ensemble film where the pacing has no fat on the bone,
right?
And yet you get a good understanding of every player.
Yeah,
and it's so smart how he did it. The camera's panning around the facility. You see McCready, he's playing chess. He starts to lose. he pretty much destroys the computer. You see Knowles, he's listening to music, cooking. You're seeing our boy Keith David and how he kind of reacts towards like McCready. So there's kind of some rivalry there. And everyone, you get a little glimpse of them. Boom, boom, boom. It's quick. And it just keeps going. And then, boom, now you have this idea of each of these men and their level of loneliness or borderline insanity, electrocuting computers, and just kind of how they are and how they interact with each other. Who's buddy with who. And the movie just goes. It just, from the time when you see the husky, come into the camp, the helicopter, they're dropping grenades on it. What the hell is going on? You got the Norwegian guy, he's just shooting, he's just letting off shots.
He is.
Like, what is going on here?
Yes.
And it just does not stop. There's no fat on this bone. And as much as I love Halloween, there's some lulls. There's some little peekaboo in the bushes with Mike and this and that. There's a little bit. I mean, look, there's no lying here.
No. And I'm not saying you're not valid. But I know for me, and maybe it's because I've watched that movie so many damn times. And I will be in a couple of weeks as well. And shout out to all you guys, by the way, because we're all over the place. Remind me to go back to Halloween, the movie. But October, we're calling it Horrortober, and we're going to do a lot of fun things, kind of spooky season based. We're going to have a couple of watch parties. We're going to try to do on some Friday nights. Coriander was like, hey, let's do some watch parties for Horrortober. I was like, hey, that sounds great. So by the way, Kill, we just talked about that last night. So, we got a couple of things we're going to do.
We're in the spooky season.
We're
in the season, guys. And you guys know, this is the most wonderful time of the year. October is too short of a month for me. All right.
It is, isn't
Pumpkin spice is not around long enough. The leaves changing color. And of course, the horror and spookiness. So guys, enjoy it while it's here.
I know, man.
Or you blink. We're gonna be in November, and it's and then Christmas, and then it's a wrap.
It's over.
Watch all the horror movies you can.
Yes, bro. A couple of years, when we would have our, horror movie Halloween, watch marathons and stuff. A couple times when you had come to visit and stuff, that was some fun shit, wasn't it, man? Oh, yeah. Just have a couple of movies lined up. Get your popcorn ready. Make sure get your friends, and just sit back, bro. I mean, it sounds so. When I say it, right, it feels so like not lame, but it's like, okay, yeah, you're watching movies. But for us that are such passionate fans of movies, and especially horror movies, it's almost like going to Disney World.
Let me ask you this: do you, other than Halloween, that movie? Do you have any other horror movies that you love to watch around this time of year?
Oh, now hold on. Now I know this is going to sound lame. Okay. I'm not going to answer that.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why.
That could be a whole show.
Yeah. You know what? You all right. That's all I'm going to say, man. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, real quick before I get back to 78. Sarah, you got to love Sarah. She said gangster movies are great, but I'm patiently waiting for you to review the Equalizer trilogy. You know what, Sarah?
I see. I heart you. That
You know,
trilogy.
we're gonna have to try to do that
Yeah,
because
did you watch the third
yes,
one? Okay.
it's a fantastic trilogy, and Sarah had mentioned this before. Now, let me just be real with all of you guys right here, right now. And Sarah, I think you know what I'm about to say. And Kill, I know you know what I'm about to say.
I know.
Doing the Equalizer on this channel would basically be like we're gonna get our ass spanked by the YouTube algorithm. Okay. For whatever reason, and I
Well, see,
learned that the hard way,
well,
even
that's
though I
why.
was stubborn.
Well, that's why we got to do what we did today. You know, we name it one thing, and then we talk about The Godfather
Well,
for 3 hours. No,
that might
I'm
be the
just-
way to do it. But all seriousness though, I have been thinking about, some different things like like that we just been wanting to talk about. So we'll try to figure out a way to do it, Sarah. Keep in touch. Because I know you're a big fan of those. But thank you so much for just keeping on with it, seriously. Oh shoot, Sarah said if you like those shows, did you watch or like Fringe? Yes.
Sarah, come on.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? If we could do some streams or content on Fringe, we would already have done it because me and Kill used to talk about that. We loved that. Bro, you remember I got the box set literally about 30 feet away from me. Like that
Same here.
show was amazing. I was so sad when it wasn't on anymore. I was like, oh my God. Oh man. All right. So let me go back to 78 real quick. What's up to Conrad? Yes, there are moments where things are just kind of like, okay, we're building. Maybe I've watched it so many times that I've just absorbed it, and it's like part of it's almost like ASMR. You know what I mean? I don't really find a lull in it, probably because I'm just so into it, just as a fan. But I know what you mean, though. I mean, The Thing is a tighter film because, again, like you said, the dog is being chased right in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
The last thing we see is McCready and your boy basically looking at each other like, yeah, okay, you're the Thing, aren't you? And then it cuts, fades to black. It's like, what? Gut punch. It's just interesting. It's just really interesting. But let me ask you a couple of other things before, and I do want to kind of piggyback to Horrortober, just to kind of let you know some other stuff we've been talking about. Now, look, before I do this, Val said the Better Made Movie Night. That's pushing it a bit, but it's a close second for me. Well, Val, I will say this, and Val, you more than almost any other person I know that is in our community, Halloween, lightning in a bottle, a lot of passion, all hands on deck. But John didn't have the resources he had for The Thing, as much as he made that movie fantastic and everyone else involved. When he did The Thing, man, I mean, he, Rob Bottin, he even had the late great Stan Winston coming on board to help out with some stuff. So I'm just saying,
and all those great character actors, the location,
and
the cinematography, the special effects.
And these were character actors that had been around the block. They weren't ham and egging it, Yeah. I mean, as much as I love
some legends in there.
Yes. Yes, I mean, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say that, It's Sarah's still on it. Maybe a little members only Equalizer action. Yeah, that actually does sound pretty good. I'm digging that. Seriously, Sarah.
Yeah.
Seriously. That is probably the way to go. Fringe was awesome. Gory, I agree. Val said, but night. No, but night. I know. You're the best, Val. But let's talk about a couple of other points from the movie. Do you have a favorite scene?
Oh man, yeah, I think you know what I'm gonna go.
I know exactly what you're gonna say. We've been watching this movie for years together, bro. Hey, look, can I say before you give the answer? Let me just tell you guys this. I know a lot of you people do know this, but Kill and I, now we live on the total opposite sides of the country. So whenever we do get a chance to get together to hang out or to visit home or whatever, it's awesome. And there's been quite a few times when, even as adults, when we've gotten together, we've watched The Thing. We didn't just watch it as kids, you know.
Yes.
Anyways,
or
ahead.
showed it to other people who maybe they've never seen it, and just like, you've never seen that? Let's put this one right now.
Right.
Well, look, I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm gonna say, what do you think I'm gonna say?
I think you're gonna say the blood test.
You're damn straight.
Yeah.
Look, guys, there are certain scenes from movies that are scary, horrific, shocking, or hilarious. And there's numerous movies. Like, if I just did little motions, like, what is this?
I know, it's Leviathan.
Exactly. He knows exactly what I'm talking about just from the motion the actor was doing, like, you know. But the blood test scene.
Yeah.
First of all, Kurt Russell. Have you ever seen Kurt Russell bad in a movie?
No.
Now, keep the way. Listen to how I'm phrasing it. Not that the movie was bad. The movie could be bad. But Kurt Russell, have you ever seen him bad in a movie?
I can't think of anything, man.
I can't think of anything either. The blood test scene is essentially where, you know, they essentially try to murder McCready. They tried to ace him out, man.
Yeah.
David was the ringleader of it. He's like finally getting rid of his ass. and essentially McCready gets the drop on all of them, and he's not a scientist, he's a helicopter pilot, but he's an intelligent person, and he's just like, look, we're gonna do a test right now. This thing will try to protect itself no matter what, every little piece, every cell. So we're gonna take blood from everybody. And you're watching it, and just like the rest of the movie, it's a tension boil.
Yeah, it is.
You're watching it and you're like, oh, every person he tests is like, oh no. And he's like, and McCready's talking shit the whole time. Yeah, I saved you for last. Oh, yeah, nothing's going on there. So that means you're a murderer.
I thought you'd feel that way, Gary. You were the last one that had the keys. And it's like, wow.
And what's so cool about the scene is it's so much tension. And then the person where, I would say, like, we didn't think it would be them.
Yeah.
It was them.
Yes.
And then the comedy ensues.
Yes.
The twitching, and the guy's like, hey man, let me out. So in this one scene that takes maybe 5 minutes, it's like a 5-minute scene. It's not that long, it's not that short.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
I'd say 10, man, when he sits them down.
Okay.
And he kinda, yeah.
I mean, you go from tension to great acting all around, but just tension, action, and then suspense, and then comedy, all in the span of this one scene. So yes, that's my favorite scene, because it has all of those encompassing parts right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's no doubt that scene is just so good. I love it. It kind of pulls everything together. You know what I mean? If I was to, and that's probably my favorite scene too, but if I was to, throw something else out there, it's got to be the defibrillator scene. Because when that happens, it's basically like, oh shit, okay, like it's on. Now it's time to kind of figure out, it's time to see who's going to lose. It's time to be Rick Grimes. If you guys know, it's time to be Rick Grimes.
True.
And the stuff that Rob was able to do with these special effects, to this day, is still just so unbelievable that they were able to accomplish something like that in 1982. Just basically blood, sweat, and tears and imagination. And you see this thing, it takes all these shapes, and then when the head falls off, you're like, okay, well, what is that going to do? It has these spider legs that come out of it. It's crawling around. You gotta be fucking kidding. I mean, bro, What are we doing? Who's thinking of this stuff?
How can you kill this thing if every little hand that gets cut off, every head, every cell, you just grow spider legs and antlers and just what are we doing here? How do you beat this thing?
Well, and the other part of it too is that they already knew something was up because they went to the Norwegian camp and it was aced out.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead's camp.
Yeah, basically. And shout out to Mary Elizabeth, who we love. They all got aced out. It was like a dozen of them all got aced, like hardcore, axes in the wall, people making a choice with razor blades.
Mary might still be alive out there.
Bro, did you ever wonder about that? Like
I have thought about it.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We're talking about 82 and that's the one. But the prequel that they did, although the CGI was like really cheeks, there was some good stuff in it.
There was some great stuff in it, especially if you're a fan of the thing.
Yeah, and I can still enjoy it. The continuity, you could tell that they studied. I was like, okay, you guys get a sticker. You guys get a sticker. But where was I at? Yeah. So they see this thing, and all of a sudden now, that fear and paranoia and tension is elevated. It was already at a high level because they knew the other camp is aced out. There's an alien in their midst. They don't know exactly all that it can do, but they're like wary of each other. And it's like, wow. I mean, it was just so amazing. And especially seeing it as a kid, it was like blowing my freaking mind. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Real quick too, in the chat, Scott also a fan of the defibrillator scene. Conrad saw it when he was a teenager. Ooh, yeah, Paula, you gotta see it, man. You gotta see it. Sarah saying I wasn't a big fan of The Thing 2011, but I will say when it was ending and you realized it was a prequel, I was like, oh hot damn, right, bro, in the theater when we were watching it, and I was just like, okay, how are we gonna do this, right? Bro, when you see them jump into the helicopter and that
you hear the music kick in a little bit, it's like, no.
I was like, still one of my favorite double feature possibilities. Watch the 2011, go right into 1982. Yes. It works.
It works. So works. Yes,
it really works. May is in the house. What is up, May? Scott saying Kurt's been in some bad films, but he was always the highlight of those bad films.
Exactly, Scott. Yes, exactly.
Yep. Still the gold standard in practical effects. No doubt.
I agree.
No doubt. Hollywood guys in the house. What is up? Good to see you. We've got Tiffany in the chat. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here. Who else? I think we had some other folks jumping in. If you're just jumping in, welcome. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us so much. Kill. So that's, the favorite scene. Do you have a specific effect that is a favorite of yours, or you're just like mind blown on?
And I've said this before, there are certain movies when I was a kid that I either thought it was a snuff film or I thought it was real. Look, when the dog goes into the dog pen at the beginning, and those other huskies are looking at it like, wait a second, you're not one of us,
right?
You smell weird, and they're just like looking. And also when and this just shows how well that dog was trained. That dog was specifically trained, walk really slow and weird, almost not like a dog,
right?
Like more like a cat or a feline or just something that's not natural. That dog goes in there, it's like, and it's just creepy, and the other dogs are backing up, and then of course the thing is all about getting jiggy with it, start shaking and it's, doing its Reed Richards just stretching out his Dalsum, stretching
Dalsum, yo. Hey, look, there's people in this chat. They're like, "What are these guys talking about?" They're doing Street Fighter 2 references.
We're old, sorry, guys. But yeah, like that scene, seeing that, the dogs start to get sprayed with all the goo and they're being absorbed. And I love dogs. I love all animals. They're the best. Love you guys. angels on earth. But to see that scene, it was just so weird and crazy. And then to see it kind of, when it's yelling and it's got like the three heads or whatever, and you see the dog handler come,
all
and
the
McCready,
tongues,
and they're all like, "What in the hell?" Like, kill it, burn it.
Yeah. That's when Stan Winston came in to help Rob Bottin for that effect, for the dog kennel scene, which is crazy to think. We're talking about Stan Winston, Terminator, Predator. I mean, like this guy. I mean,
he wrote
seriously.
the book.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Val saying, if this non-sci-fi fan likes this movie, then that is saying something for the movie. Laugh out loud, right?
Yeah.
So true. It's so true. Let me ask you this, and what's up to Russ? Good to have you here, man.
Hey.
And Sarah's still working with those links. You're all right, girl. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. DJ, what's up? Good to see you. And Val's throwing out some of the emojis. Yeah, throw those emojis out, guys. That might be a new custom emoji I might use, is a a thing image. That would be kind of cool. Look at Scott. Look what Scott wrote in the chat. He knows Street Fighter. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Good
you.
for you, buddy. Good for you. All right. Let me ask you this. I think I already know the answer. What sci-fi horror movie tops The Thing? Like brass tacks,
Sci-fi horror. I mean, honestly, the only thing I could think of is like Alien.
Right. Now, I knew you were going to say that, and we're both big fans of Alien. All right, so let's take Alien out of the equation. Is there any
Are we also taking Terminator out?
Wow. All right, good. Touche, bro.
I mean,
touche.
I mean, sci-fi horror other than those two.
Is there any other that matches The Thing?
I'm drawing a blank. I really can't think of anything else.
Well, and what?
I know there are, but
Well, I mean, well, all right. Look,
hidden.
Get the out of here.
I come in peace. How about that,
dude? Okay. Although that was kind of fun when we were kids, and
both those movies were fun.
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah.
All right. DJ is saying Night of the Creeps. Night of the Creeps is awesome.
The Fly.
But look. Okay, now wait a minute. Now that was in my mind. I feel like.
I mean, it's definitely science fiction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of body horror. Oh gosh.
All right. So look, we're gonna have to table this, because that could be a whole thing, man. I keep saying thing. You notice that? Conrad saying the emojis are really cool. Yes, they are custom. If you guys are not a channel member, definitely consider being one. You can use the emojis, throw them up. They definitely are cool. They're fun and all of that. Yeah, I mean, The Fly definitely is sci-fi horror, and it's fantastic.
Let me ask you this, and I'm sorry to hit you with this, but since we're talking about The Fly,
yeah,
what do you think if they made a new Fly movie with today's special effects?
Well, number one, I don't think that it would have that charm that that we had with Cronenberg's Fly. He has a certain aesthetic. Jeff Goldblum has a certain aesthetic. He brought a lot to that film.
Vincent Price had an aesthetic.
I loved Vincent Price. What did he say at that? He's like, what did he say? He said a human head on a. Hold on. How did he say? He became. What did he say? A fly on a human body, and a human head on a fly's body. Blah blah blah. Only Vincent Price can say that without it sounding like ass.
Vincent Price could say anything.
He could
and get away with that voice.
Yep, he could. He was fantastic. For you guys in the chat, if you're not on board with Vincent Price, check out his filmography. He's definitely a legend from the old school, and as he should be. We got to table this Fly and Thing, man,
What's
because
all
it's
this remakes? The Thing is a remake. The Fly was a
right.
remake. Yeah.
Right? But if The Fly was remade today, I just don't think it would have that same charm. Also, because I don't know if they would have enough practical effects in it. I
Oh,
think they
they
would
wouldn't. It
they
would be
would they
all
would
CG.
CGI it.
Yeah.
Even if they did some practical work, I think they would CGI it. And I'm not saying, I'm not one of those people that's like CGI sucks. It's never been good. It doesn't do anything, well. There are some things that are very good and CGI can be good. But I just feel like I keep saying the thing about The Fly.
We're gonna make this a drinking game. All the times you say the
Yes.
Thing,
Right?
everybody take a shot.
Yeah. But there was just this organic feeling to those effects in the body horror of The Fly. So I don't know if they could recapture that today, and maybe they shouldn't try to, just like David Cronenberg didn't try to redo what Vincent Price did in the 50s. So I'm not against it, obviously, because it is a remake itself, but I think they'd have a tall mountain to climb to outdo what Cronenberg did. I mean, the movie's sci-fi, body horror, drama, love story, comedy. I was about to say one thing from it. I'm like, I can't say that on YouTube, but it's a great film. But in my opinion, I don't know if anything can really outdo The Thing on paper. In other words, it's really at the top. There's not much that can really touch it. Yeah, it's a tough one to talk about, though. Hollywood guy coming in, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Saying, I will say this, I wasn't a fan of the prequel, but it does set up the original Thing, which is cool. Too bad there was no sequel besides the video game, right?
See, Hollywood guy knows what's up. The video game, and
yes.
they just remastered that video game, and it's
Did
out
they?
on current consoles.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the prequel, we've talked about it. The prequel definitely has its missteps and things that I think they should have, went left when they went right and so forth. But I will say they did their homework, and they tried to respect what Carpenter did, and I got to give them credit for that. So when we talk about effects, did you give your favorite effect? Did we get in the weeds on that?
Yeah, I said the dog one.
The dog. Okay. So for me, I just always go back, and I know it's a lame choice in a way because I was just talking about, but when that spider head, bro, still to this day, when I watch it, I'm like, how did they do that? I mean, seriously, this guy right here, Rob Bottin, it wasn't like he had a whole crew of people working with him. He worked, it was a very small group of people working on these practical effects. He lived on the set. He slept on the set because he was working that hard. When the production of the film was done, he had to go to the hospital, because he was just sick. He was, he didn't get a lot of sleep. There was the stress and so forth. So he just really put all the eggs in the basket, and it shows. It really does show in the film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let me ask you this. When we talk about who's the Thing at the end, we know we've got Childs and we've got Kurt Russell. Who do you think is the Thing and why? There's a lot of theories out there. I've talked about it myself a little bit. I actually plan on doing another deep dive video on it as well. Is Childs the Thing at the end, or is it Kurt Russell?
Okay, I there are no 100%. Okay,
Right.
I don't think Kurt Russell is the Thing.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay. All
Childs might be the Thing, and it's a few videos that I've seen, things I've read, and it's just like, where have you been, dude? You've been missing for a minute,
right?
I've went down into the underground with other guys that just got aced out. You've been gone since before that.
You went out to have lunch.
Yeah, and in this final scene, and what's so cool is these are my two favorite characters. These are my, and they're having this come to Jesus moment where they're just sitting there,
Literally.
and it's, literally the whole base is burning up around them.
Yeah, they're aced out.
They're gonna die. They're out in the elements. They have no shelter. The only thing keeping them alive for this amount of minutes is the burning down complexes around them. And they're just sharing some bourbon. Like, hey, let's just have a drink. And there's a few things, and I know you know some of these or heard some of these. People are saying, oh, essentially it's gasoline in the canteen, and he gives it to Childs, and he drinks it, and he's just like, yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, some people say there's a green glint in his eye, and essentially, some people have said anytime any of the men have the glint, that means they're the thing. And then, of course, you look at McCready, he's breathing heavy.
Right.
You see it.
Yes.
Childs, you see nothing. That thing right there, that ain't Childs. That thing right there is a thing.
Okay, Judd. Right.
But what about you? Same, reverse question to yourself there.
Well, and real quick too, let me say hey to Troy and also to Kelly, saying sorry I'm late, but it's my grandson's 7th birthday. Wow.
Very cool.
Congrats. That is very cool. Glad to have you here. And Sarah's working hard. She's got the Why You Hate episode of The Thing 2011. Check that out, guys. It was a lot of fun. Check out the whole playlist. You know what I'm saying? I've always thought it was Childs. Okay. I never really thought it was Kurt Russell, but I've read stuff over the years, seen stuff where it's kind of like, it makes me say, that could be kind of interesting, because obviously Childs was a red herring for a long time in this film on many occasions. They really put him out there as well as a couple other people.
But see, I think that could be the bait and switch. He was the red herring through the whole movie. Like, oh yeah, I knew it would probably be you, but this time it actually is.
Yeah. No, it's true. But then I thought to myself, maybe it's too easy. But yeah, I've always thought to myself it was Childs. There are some interesting theories that do make me kind of wrap my head around it a little bit differently, though. You know what I'm saying? So, Sarah said also check out the title fight battle between The Thing and Halloween. Man, Sarah, you're doing your homework.
Sarah, you are on it.
Yes, that's so crazy. Kelly's giving out all the numbers. Wow, that is awesome, Kelly. Thank you for being here,
Kelly. I was thinking the same thing Mayanne said. Just putting that out there, but that's awesome.
It is awesome, man. Scott's working hard too, dude. That's the next battle world: The Thing versus the Fly. Ooh, bro.
Hey, any excuse to rewatch the Fly, man, or The Thing.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Science gone wrong.
Yeah. Tiffany saying, good question. Yes, if not Alien, maybe Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland. Thank you, Tiffany. Holy shit.
That's a great one.
Wow. Can I just, okay. See, and I know we're starting to wind down, bro. So, let me know how things are on your side.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. And we've been saying it for a while. Shout out to Coriander, by the way, because she kind of kicked me in the butt to kind of acquaint myself with Invasion, because I hadn't seen that since like we were kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It had been years. And so I watched it and I was like, oh my God, I forgot how good this was. It is such it's a great film that a lot of people, they don't know anything about it, or they heard of it, but they never saw it. Great film. Another example of a great remake. But yeah, thank you so much, Tiffany. That was great.
Did you like The Invasion with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig?
It was all right.
I don't
remember it too well. I watched it, maybe twice or so. But I love Daniel Craig and I love Nicole Kidman. So maybe I got to revisit that. But it was all right. Yeah,
I mean it's not the Donald Sutherland version.
No, nobody was Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland was the shit, man. I loved him. He was just so great in everything he did.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad he did some stuff that was horror based. It just showed his versatility as an actor.
Definitely.
Scott saying, imagine if both of them are the thing. Tiffany saying,
Mhm.
imagine if neither one of them was the thing. Ooh. And they sacrificed themselves, and that's it. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Kelly. Oh my God. And Val, thank you for putting the link in the chat. Kill, as we wind down, obviously we love The Thing.
Yeah.
It's damn near perfect. It's one of those films that it keeps on keeping on, and it's shown over the years. It's gotten so much more respect, especially when the boom of home video came out. And to me, when you talk about 82, obviously Blade Runner went through the same thing. It didn't hit well. It found a life on home video. And now people, when they talk about sci-fi classics, you hear Blade Runner, you hear The Thing. And I think it's awesome because it's kind of like, we won. It took a while, but we won. Real quick too, guys, just to remind you guys, and I put this out on the Patreon and also on the community tab. Horrortober is here. We've got some fun stuff we're going to be doing, watch parties, a lot of cool stuff. We're going to announce stuff. We've got our little list of films kind of as a challenge to folks that been put together. These are 24 films. We got enough time in October to watch all of these films if people watched at least one a day. But these are some films that I think are just really, really cool. So again, guys, what we're going to be doing as we move closer and closer to Halloween itself, we're going to have some fun, some games, some prizes and stuff, also connected to our movie challenge for 2025 that I showed right on the screen. So keep your eyes peeled, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Val said Halloween challenge accepted. There you go. All right. And oh wow. And Sarah has been on a roll. If we're talking sci-fi, I'm begging you to watch The Fourth Kind. It's so interesting, so underrated. It really freaked me out, and I love Will Patton and Mila Jovovich. That is a good movie.
Sarah,
Wow.
you hitting on all cylinders tonight.
Yes, she is cooking with grease
Fourth
tonight.
Kind is creepy as hell.
It is, bro. I saw that in the theater.
I think that's one of Amelia's best films.
Oh, no doubt. As far as like the acting and the drama and so forth, I mean, she showed in that movie that she can play that type of role. She doesn't just have to do Resident Evil and these action movies. But it is so creepy. And I remember in the theater, it legit creeped me out. And I think it. Well, there's a couple scenes, but one scene in particular where it like boom and it started happening. And I was like, oh, and the hairs on my neck were standing up, So that's a great one. That is a great one. Thank you for that, Sarah. Guys, we Hollywood guy coming in. Battle World topic: Body Snatchers versus the remake. Ooh, that could be interesting. Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to write that down. Thank you for that, Hollywood guy. We appreciate that. Seriously, you guys are coming up with some ideas for Battle World. By the way, we're trying to get our schedules together and stuff like that, and we definitely want to come back with some cool matchups for Battle World. So hold on tight, guys. Hold on tight. As we start to wind this down, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. Seriously, we appreciate the support. We appreciate the love, and it's been one of those weeks, man. But I think that I'm glad that we can be here with the community and be with the people that I love, my brother, Coriander, all of you guys, our moderators who are literally shielding us from everything. We really appreciate that, and I know our good friend, our brother Stephen would as well. Shout out to him, much love to him, and thank you guys in the chat. Some of you guys just offering condolences. Seriously, Hatchet Boys, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Carpenter this is a good point. Deliberately left the ending of The Thing ambiguous, and the identity of who was affected by the alien is never definitively revealed. It was left up to the audience to decide, and even to decades later, he won't say who it was, although he gave a hint. There was this interview he did, or he was at a convention or something like that, and he was talking to a director, and he kind of gave a hint, but it really doesn't tell you exactly who it is.
Yeah.
He's not gonna say anything. Why would he? So anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We'll be putting our heads together to see what we're going to be talking about next Tuesday, so stay tuned. We will catch you guys next time. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Peace.